I want to question something that has been said to people year after year. People say practice makes perfect. I disagree.
Do you?
Practice makes permanent,
Ooh.
not perfect. Let me elaborate.
Please do. Then I can
If
tell you
you
why you're
are,
wrong.
you can disagree all you like. Say you go to the gym and you're practicing your deadlift. Very complex movement. If you repeat the same movement again and again and again, if your form is wrong, you're reaffirming the bad form. Whereas if you are to look at your form and make just adjustments as needed, naturally then you're going to be getting better. But just because you're doing the thing again and again doesn't mean you're getting better. You have to have a purpose behind the repetition. That is why I disagree with practice makes perfect, because practice makes permanent.
Interesting.
Why do you disagree?
Would you say that your deadlifts are better now than they were 10 years ago?
Yes, because I have been practicing through watching videos of myself doing it, through looking at feedback. I've been actively practicing, yes, through repetition, but the repetition would be pointless without the reflection.
Yeah, but all of that is part of practice, is it not?
Some people don't. Some people just assume through repetition they're going to get better at something.
I'll tell you what I hear when I hear the idea of practice makes perfect is the very fact that you are doing something over and over and over is the perfection, rather than you do enough of something, you arrive at perfect. That's not, I don't think, what I mean when I say it.
So you're suggesting the pursuit of perfection
Is the perfection.
Okay, I've never thought about it in that regard. I've always thought about it as like a tangible perfection as an end goal. So if your repetition is there, but your performance output is not, or your reflection is not, you're just going to be reaffirming something rather than actually getting better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like your insight, but then it begs the question, how does one person define perfection in the pursuit of it? And also, how do people reflect on their pursuit of perfection to ensure they are continually moving forwards?
It's just daily. Just do it daily.
So if it's, say, learning a language, doing it daily sure is going to be useful, but if they are using a tutor, if they're using a language app, if they are recording themselves speak, listening back to ensure that their enunciation is correct, then they're going to be getting better at a more exponential rate than if someone's just speaking again and again and again. So what do you mean by just doing it? Because I think we're approaching this very differently.
I think if you undergo practicing something, I'm doing it in relation to the individual. So for that individual, like if I was to practice a language every single day, no matter the depth of that practice, it's still more perfect than me not practicing it. So it might be perfection for me one day to just spend 10 minutes on the Duolingo app, or the next day it might be me spending an hour on Duolingo, then doing another hour just practicing speaking the same sentence over and over and over to get it perfect. And then maybe the final hour, I've lost my voice.
It's gone.
Is that better now? Right, it works. Maybe the final hour you end up recording yourself and reviewing tape, if you like. So that would be arguably more perfect. But then again, if some days you can, like, if the best you can do is the thing, then you've practiced it, and then you've practiced it again, then you've practiced it again. So that would fit my definition of just doing the very thing as the practice, because it's the consistency, and that's what builds the habits and builds the permanent that you were talking about.
I like the way you've approached it. It's a lot less matter of fact and a lot more grace in there.
Holistic.
It is, which is bizarre that you've covered it from this way, because normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, you've rubbed off on me, and it's had an impact.
I've definitely not rubbed off on you, and let's not use that framing. God damn. But yeah, it's really interesting, because for me, when I heard practice makes perfect, I'm like, sure, I see the logic, But when I heard practice makes permanent, I'm like, of course, that makes sense. Because for me, if you are doing something again and again and again, you're just reaffirming how to do that thing. So maybe perfection, like you say, is in the pursuit, and maybe that's not something I've ever considered. So definitely I need to reassess my assumption of the quote. But for me, yeah, practice makes permanent. So if you are repeatedly doing something, you're going to reaffirm how you do that. Like this morning, we were making episode plans. Through practice, we both got better at it, sure, but that's the pursuit of perfection you're talking about. For me, permanent in the sense that practice made the ability to make these episodes plans a lot easier, because we had ingrained that cause and effect. You know, I need to have a discussion about this. Okay, how do I build an episode around this? Okay, so what talking points do we need? And that path becomes easier. Now, if you're trying to, cut down a path through a thick bush with a machete, at first it gets harder, but then the person behind you is going to likely have an easier chance, and then the person behind that's even easier. So you're just making new paths to explore. So that's what I mean when I say practice makes permanent.
No, I see what you're saying, and I would even argue that it's more correct to a point, because it's, as you say, it's coming at it from two different angles. You're trying to say two different things. Practice makes permanent is if you do the same activity over and over again, you're going to build habits within that is then going to reaffirm the thing you've been doing. Practice makes perfect, where the perfection is the practice itself, is saying you just need to keep doing it, and that is good enough. So you almost need both side by side. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter which one works for you, as long as you're doing it.
Yeah, so that's the underlining truth, isn't it? Is do the thing. If you want to learn a language, the best way to learn a language is to learn a language.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's Duolingo, whether it's speaking to someone that speaks a language, getting a tutor, or flying out to that country. The best way to learn a language is to learn a language, not buy the app, think about learning it, look at the app, create a profile,
create a plan,
look at different tutors or language schools in the area. That's not learning the language.
Tell other people you're thinking about taking up a new language.
So yeah, what we're both maybe coming at is you just need to actively do it. And that's going to be the pursuit of perfection. And through repetition, you're going to find the permanent way to make the job easier.
Yep, that's it. You systemize things naturally over time. That's how your body deals with remembering a lot of instructions. Like when I'm playing guitar, I don't think about every single note I'm pushing. Like my hands just know.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier because it's systemized. Like, oh no, if you're playing guitar, this is how you behave.
It's interesting how we've come at it so differently. Do you think maybe this is a question directly for you, Will? For those that are listening, maybe they can learn a little bit more about you. Do you think you judge others less harshly or with more grace and respect than you judge yourself?
No.
You don't?
I might not say it out loud, though. That's the difference.
Okay, so maybe you are kinder and you have a little bit more empathy.
Externally. Internally.
But I think that's because you're judging others by the metric you judge yourself. But
yeah.
The reason I asked that question is because the way I approached it is how I thought you might also approach it. But you did, just from a different road. But I know you are very much like, we'll do the thing.
Yeah,
just get your head down and do it.
These conversations are really just, this is my time off. It's like, it's fun to just think about the things in like a broad scheme or whatever. But the reality is like, just actually doing the thing that you're talking about is like the most important thing. Like that's why we have to film this, so that I can justify having these conversations.
So it's really interesting. You almost come at it holistically in your downtime, but then when it comes to practicality, you are a little bit more, I don't want to say driven, because that implies that driven and holistic aren't matched. But you're just a little bit more action over thought.
Yeah, I don't have the best head on my shoulders. Therefore, action is the only way.
I suppose action conquers inaction and thinking.
Consistency beats talent.
Hard work beats talent every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if I am honest with myself. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the most talented. And I'm definitely not the best musician. So I know what I'll do. I'll try and make it in the music industry. Stupid idea. How can I compete in that industry? I know. I'll just work hard on everybody else. And I'll do the things in the correct areas.
Well, it's like they said, Jim, have you ever watched that David Beckham documentary on Netflix? Unbelievable. Highly recommend you watch. Great watch. Really cool insight into his life. His dad made him practice free kick after free kick after free kick after free kick after free kick. Again and again and again. He did not want to, but his dad made him. And he was the best free kick taker in the world. And arguably still is to this day.
Imagine if he'd just done one more rep. Could have been even better.
Yeah. So it's hard work beats that talent. Sure, he had talent, but it was that hard work that got him there. So yeah, the practice makes permanent. Practice is the pursuit of perfection. Maybe that's a rephrasing, which is really cool.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. Nice little insight into your brain. I definitely think I judge myself more harshly than others.
Really?
Yeah, when it comes to...
You don't have that thing in your head that's like, you're wasting my time.
If it is clear, but I have a lot more grace, you know, like there's people in my life that have stayed around in my life arguably longer than they should have done. But now I'm like, okay, like you've exhausted all your legs. And you know me, I've got a lot of patience, a lot of time for anyone. But there will come a point that's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
And once, in my mind, once person crosses that, we're done. And it takes years. It takes a long time. Not to the like loss of my self-respect at all, but throughout that period I'll give them lots of chances to sort of improve and become better. But once their lines or door is shut, they ain't coming back. They're like Jesus, not coming back.
Hey, Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, I think he actually says the opposite, but that's fine.
Now the reasons I ain't Jesus, but the main one is that I ain't coming back.
Yeah, wasn't that Morgan Wallen and Posty?
Yes, it was. Interesting fact about that. So, you know, I had some help. Morgan Wallen, Post Malone. So Post Malone, because his album was coming out first, he got the choice between I Ain't Coming Back or I Had Some Help as which single he was allowed, and Morgan Wallen would get the other one for his album. So he chose I Had Some Help because it's obviously it's a better song. It's more pop appeal. Yeah. So he chose that one. Got way more views than I Ain't Coming Back.
I thought I Ain't Coming Back's better.
Do you? It's definitely. I think it's more suited for Morgan Wallen than it is.
Yeah.
So they probably got the right ones for their voices, but yeah, I Had Some Help is a better. It's like, because it's also the whole fundamentals of the I Ain't Coming Back song is based off the fact that Jesus is coming back. It's like nobody's ever done that ever.
Except for Jesus.
Except for that football player that had a heart attack and died on the football pitch, then came back to life. He came back.
DeMar Hamlin.
Is that his name?
Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Unreal.